In today's video, I'm going to be swapping out the brushed stock system on the ARRMA Infraction Mega to a more powerful brushless system. What's going on, guys? Joshua Trax RC, and in today's video I'm going to be changing out the power system in my ARRMA Infraction Mega. As you guys know, on the first running video, which I'll link right up here, I ended up blowing out the stock brushed 9-turn motor. It completely stopped working and it still does not work. So to fix the blown brushed motor, I'm going to be putting a brushless power system in this RC because the stock ESC and motor are severely underpowered for this RC. It can barely drift. It still can drift depending on like the surface you're on and the amount of traction it has, but everyone likes more power, so we're going to be adding more power to this RC in this video. So the stock electronics is your very basic ESC and motor. The ESC is like a rebranded Hobbywing ESC, it looks like. It's a very common ESC, and the motor is actually, it looks like a really good motor, but as you guys saw, I burned it out already, so it looks good and it looks well proportioned for this RC because it's such a big motor. But as you guys saw, it just does not hold up to the 2S LiPo that I put in here, which the ESC can handle 2S, but I bet that everything just got way too hot and something melted in here or something. But that is why I ordered the brushless system right when I got this RC, because I kind of figured that this would happen. Plus, I wanted more power right out of the get-go. So the brushless system that I'm going to be installing today is the Hobbywing Easy Run MAX10 ESC, and then their 4000 kV brushless motor. I already did take them out of the box just to briefly look at them and to make sure that they would fit, which they should, no problem. So the ESC is a 60 amp ESC. It's meant for 110 scale cars, which this is basically a 110 scale. It's all the 110 scale ARRMA parts on it basically. So this ESC should be perfectly fine for our use. It can do 2 to 3S LiPos, and of course I'm going to be running this on 3S LiPo because that's the only way you got to do it. And then the motor, I got a 4000 kV. I'm not sure if I'm going to regret that decision yet. A lot of people run like a 3200 to 3300 kV motor from Hobbywing in the Infraction Mega, but I kind of figured that because the actual 3S Infraction that you can get from ARRMA, that one has a 3900 kV, so I figured this is closer to that 3900 kV, whereas if I were to get a 3200 kV, I feel like it might be a little bit underpowered. So that's why I got the 4000 kV, and to my surprise, this motor is actually pretty small. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna fit fine in here, but compared to the brushed motor that's stock, it's not that big. It's gonna be interesting to see what the actual speed of this motor is. And I should probably mention, I got this whole setup with the ESC and the motor for $105 on Amazon. Absolute steal of a system in my opinion. But yeah, that's the motor that we're going to be putting in this thing today, along with this 18-tooth pinion gear. Now it does have a bigger size hole for the pinion, but what I like about Hobbywing is that they include this little adapter right here. So then this would go in the pinion gear, and that way we can run this pinion gear on the motor, and it's going to fit perfectly. Now the reason why I have an 18-tooth pinion is because this is what I have on hand. I actually accidentally bought this for my Stampede 4x4 many years ago, and I don't have any motors with this size shaft, so I never made use of this pinion gear. But to my knowledge, the stock pinion gear on an ARRMA 3S Infraction is like a 20-tooth, so with this being an 18, I feel like that's going to give me enough leeway, and this is going to be a good starting point, I think, for gearing, because I'm not really sure what gearing is going to be best for this thing. So we got the 4000 kV Hobbywing brushless motor, and then an 18-tooth pinion gear, and then the ESC, if I open it up, like the motor, it's very compact, and also to my surprise, it has an extra ESC fan in there, which is awesome. I mean, that was completely unexpected, but we already got extras. It's got 2 zip ties, some adhesive for sticking the ESC down, and then we of course get some Hobbywing stickers. And then for the ESC itself, if I take it out of the packaging material here, it is very compact, which I like. It's a very sleek design, got that fan on top to keep things cool. Has a temp plug too, which I've never even knew this was a thing on these motors. Is this plugs in right there, and then it says temp. I'm assuming that's temperature, but I have no clue how you monitor it on the ESC, so I'm gonna have to do some research on that and see how that works. But we got the plug for the fan right there. I did order a program card that does not come in the mail yet, so then I could adjust the settings on this ESC, so I'm gonna have to customize all those settings to make this thing work how I want it. And then we have a XT60 60 plug, which I'm going to cut off and put a Dean's plug on here, because that's what all my 3S batteries are. They all run on Dean's. But yeah, I mean, that's the setup that we're going to be putting in this thing. We got the 18 tooth pinion, the 4000 kV motor, and then the MAX10 ESC. So I'm not going to film this whole process of putting the brushless system in here. There's way better videos out there. This is just my experience with the truck, and I'm just upgrading it to have fun with it. I know CCXRC, Tony over there, he has great videos on this thing that he made like 8 months ago. So if you're interested in one of these trucks, I'd go watch his videos. They were a huge help when I was picking out a system for this, and he has complete how-tos as well. So yeah, I'm not going to be filming this process just because other people did already, so I'll put you guys back on when the brushless system is installed. Alright, so I'm halfway through the install right now. As you can see, I'm just working on getting this motor out, but real quick, I did forget to mention earlier, I did pick up the ARRMA center drive line high-speed support set for the center bearing. This is basically just going to support the center of the drive shaft while it's spinning, so it's going to add some extra rigidity to that center drive line. It's going to prevent any wiggles and everything that goes on. And then along with that center bearing set, I did order a new spur gear. It hasn't come in yet, but the one I ordered is a 50 tooth straight off the Infraction 3S. I'm going to try this one first though. This is the stock spur gear. I think it's a 55 tooth. So if temps are good enough to where I could gear it up more, then I will throw the 50 tooth in here. But for now, I just want to see what this one runs like. So yeah, I'll put you guys back on when everything is together. Alright guys, so I just wrapped up the install and it moves pretty good, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, I walked in looking like a old damn list. So much money on me, told you bitch to hold my shit. Ice on me cold, got me frozen in a bit. They love to hate, but they don't know how much work we put in. Okay, I pull up.
We got the ESC installed, got the motor installed. It's a very sleek setup. I didn't have to do any zip tying of any wires, just correct placement and the right layout of everything. It all sits in a good place away from the center drive line. I got that center bearing support installed, and then all the wires for the battery routed nice. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I could not get this little adapter sleeve to fit well in the pinion gear with the set screw. I think the problem was not the gear or the sleeve, it was the set screw. I feel like it needs to be a little bit longer or something to go through all the way, but I'm not running the 18 tooth pinion. As you guys can see, I'm actually running the stock 15 tooth as well as the stock spur gear, and we're gonna have to do some speed runs with this thing in the future just to see how fast it can actually go, because just a little bench test here, I think it moves really good. So when the program card comes in the mail for the ESC, I'm gonna go through all the settings. I was looking at some of them that they offer in the manual. This section here, it shows on this chart all of the ones with the black background. Those are all the factory settings. So it has the forward brake reverse, it has the auto calculation turned on for how many lipo cells there are, and it keeps going. But there's not going to be a ton of settings that I'm going to change probably. I need to get out and drive it just to really see what it feels like, and then we could go from there with more adjustability, and I could find out what I really need to do to fine tune this thing for my driving style. But I mean, overall, this thing is going to move, I think. It's definitely going to be a lot faster than that old brush system, and I think this one is going to smoke the tires, honestly. So definitely drop a comment down below where you want me to run this thing. I'm probably going to take it to the skate park first, maybe, or I'll do the parking lot like I did in the first run. I think that was a pretty cool spot for this thing. But overall, I'm super excited about this system and this RC now. Before, it wasn't really all that, but now I think it's going to be a lot of fun for content, and I hope that you guys are excited for those videos to come. But I do want to get out there and see how fast it actually is, and mainly what the temperatures are like, because if they're too hot, then I'm going to gear it down. I want to be able to run pack after pack in this thing and do it basically full throttle through the whole pack, because the drifting is a lot of fun at full throttle. But I also want to see the top speed, because I may only use like half throttle for drifting. So the gearing is going to be trial and error, like I've said, but we just really need to get out and get this thing on its second run, but first run with the new brushless system. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like, share it with others so I can grow my channel. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video.
Every time I walk through, I got game of army.